Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
What's up, Kane fans and ACC family? Welcome back to Zone in Sports Live. ESPN just dropped their latest ACC rankings ahead of Week 7. And let me tell you, the list got people talking. Some teams are getting way too much love. Others are straight disrespected. We're breaking down Griffin McVeigh's, which I put the link in the chat, full ESPN ranking team by team, debating who's overrated, underrated, and who actually deserves to be in the top spot of the ACC right now. So grab your drinks, hit that like button, and let's get into it, E, because it's all about the U, and we in the zone, baby. What's going on, E? Oh, hold on, got you.
Yesterday, man, so it was...
Hey, y'all out there, man, when y'all come up in here, man, y'all tell E happy birthday, man. He just turned another younger man today, so hey, it's good, man. I hope everything was good, man. Sorry I couldn't make it through there. I had, they worked me like a dog yesterday.
Yeah, I get it, man, all that driving. But yeah, it was good, man. It felt good to turn 21 again. So it was a good time, man. I haven't done a birthday celebration in a few years. So I said, let me go ahead, and I'm on vacation. I said, let me go ahead and do a little something for myself. And it turned into a nice time. My wife really set up the basement real nice for me, man, and it was a good turnout, man. And I appreciate the love. I felt like a kid again. I couldn't believe it. So,
oh man, that's always a good feeling. I ain't felt like a kid in decades, but I digress. Hey, all right, we're gonna hop right into this ESPN ranking by Griffin McVeigh, and the interesting thing is the ACC ranking, and Miami Hurricanes, of course, topped the list, and I don't think anybody would disagree with Miami being ranked number one in the ACC is heading into Week 7. Their numbers speak for themselves. They are, if you just look offensively, we're not even going to talk. They're averaging about 264 yards per game. Rushing, they averaging 163.8 yards a game and about 35 points a game. I don't think there's any debate there. Number 2, they have, and I want to know if you agree with this, Florida State Seminoles. Florida State averaging about all right, they average 265 yards a game, 295 yards rushing, and 47 points a game. So they have them at number 2.
That's okay. If you want to go by numbers, okay, yeah. The bulk of that was against Bama in the first game, and the two high school teams after that.
Right.
Played East Texas, fucking Port Arthur, Texas, UGK hometown team, and somebody else. And then when they got to play somebody for real, they couldn't stop them, and Virginia beat them in double overtime. And then when we got to them, we just completely tore the frame off of their asses, and they still reeling from that. So I don't think they should be the number 2 team. Maybe by numbers wise, okay. Right. But what you see on the field, I think right now the hottest team in the ACC, for me, it's a tie between Virginia and Duke.
All right, that brings us into number 3. It's Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah,
Blue Devils averaging about 310 yards per game, 57 yards rushing, and 37 points a game.
Their quarterback is nice.
Yeah,
and don't think because Manny Diaz had a very bumpy stay here for 3 years. Don't think that man didn't learn from his licks, and he see what he did wrong in Miami. You think he ain't watching Cristobal in Miami? You think he ain't gonna have more discipline on his team now and all that motherfuckers dancing on the sideline and doing all this extra shit, and he being letting certain players do certain things like we did when he was here. and he ain't making them same mistakes at Duke. Now he ain't gonna get the type of caliber athlete that Miami get, but they still gonna get some ballers there.
Right. I was a little torn because I when I was looking at it number wise, I was looking, but then I was looking at quality of opponents, and I still think when I thought objectively, I think Florida State, even though they losses, that 1 win, 1 loss against Miami is better than what Duke then did.
Schedule wise, I'm gonna look up Duke's
this
schedule,
year.
who they done
So,
played.
You know, I'm just looking.
They got a really good quarterback. I will say that.
This is good.
They got a bye week this week. Duke has a good quarterback, and he's damn good.
While you looking that up, number 4, they have Virginia. Winners of back-to-back occasions.
That's another team, and I think they coach going to mess around and get Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. You would think Mario should get it, but if Mario don't get it, they're going to give that guy.
If Mario run the table and win the ACC, he gonna get it.
If who?
If Mario runs the table and win the ACC, he's gonna get it.
He'll get it. But you know what? You never know. If Miami were to play Virginia, and Virginia go run the table in the ACC and then lose to Miami, they could still give it to I forgot his name. They could still give it to him.
I just see them, Miami, first time ever winning the ACC championship, going undefeated. It will be tough. And then the politics, I think, that they tend to like Mario. He gets a little bit more pub if we.
Yeah, he would. I mean, you would think they would. You would think they're gonna come out. Miami would dominate. They would dominate everything.
Yeah,
offensive players, coach, quarterback, the whole gauntlet. So.
And number 5, they have Louisville. Number 6, they have SMU. Number 7, Clemson. Number 8, Georgia Tech. Number 9, Pittsburgh. And number 10, NC State.
I think I'm gonna say this now. I know it's too late for them, but I think when it's if I'm waiting to see if they turn it around, but I think Clemson gonna.
Yeah.
I think Clemson could run the table, finish 9-3, and get a decent New Year's Day bowl, and Dabo may not be going anywhere.
Yeah, I still don't think Dabo going anywhere anyway.
I don't think he's gonna go. And not if they come out here and drop L's and lose to Florida State and lose some games that they shouldn't be losing to. Look at Missouri already running on Alabama. I want Missouri to win because they're the home state and because it'll make Florida State win over them look that less. Just like with Texas, Ohio State hanging their hat on. Oh wow!
Oh no!
They hanging their hat on beating Texas because they was number 1 at the beginning of the year. Well,
right.
That's why they're saying Miami's body of work is better than Ohio State's because you played Grambling, you played Ohio, you beat Texas, barely beat Washington, you beat the sleeves off Minnesota, which you're supposed to do.
Right.
But you hanging your hat on, well, we beat number 1 Texas. Well, Texas just lost to Florida and Miami beat Florida. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, Miami's resume is better. They talking about they ain't allowed nobody to score more than 6 points or whatever. I said, that may be true. But
when you're facing better competition, better quality.
It's like you're going to face today.
Right.
We're going to see we're going to see how you do against Illinois today up there in Champaign.
Right. Because I think Illinois will put some points on the board.
They're going to put some points on the board. I'm not saying Ohio State don't have no dogs on their team. But I just we'll see. That's all I got to say. But as far as Miami is concerned, well, Missouri running that ball down their throat. I think Miami in good position. And like I was said earlier, with all these rankings, you may have a 2 or 3-way tie when it's all said and done. Yeah. That's why I said I was looking up their schedule, who they play, and Duke don't play. Duke plays Virginia on November 15th. So that's going to be Virginia. You know, that could tell if Virginia run the table. Man, brother.
Well, I look at it like this. It's a lot of football left to play. I just don't see.
Georgia Tech got the easiest schedule.
That's what I was going to say.
They got the easiest, but like somebody said, and I'm a piggyback what they said. Can you see Haynes King going the rest of the season without getting hurt? At some point, the way he plays, he's so physical, and he, there may be a point in the game where he ends up getting hurt or dinged up. That's why I would think I would give the nod to
Virginia.
Wow, touchdown Missouri. Wow, made it look easy too. Whoa. Anyway, I would give the nod to Virginia because if Haynes King get hurt. And even if Georgia Tech would have run the table, who do they play at the end of the year? They play Georgia.
Right.
And that's going to be a dog fight. That's going to be so physical. Then they got to come play the ACC. They got to come play, say, Miami a week later. Right. After you just got through bumping heads with Georgia.
Right.
And Georgia may beat the snot out of you. They may not. It might be a dog fight, but it's going to be physical.
Right.
So, advantage Miami.
Right.
I think Miami got the advantage from here on out. I really think they need to just play. And you know what? I think Mario up to something, man. I really do. I really think him and his staff, they figured it out. I'm going to give them credit, man. Everybody,
what do you think they figured out?
I think they complaining and crying about, we getting a little conservative. If you look at the Florida State game, they didn't get conservative in the fourth quarter. The players didn't execute. They all admitted that.
Yeah.
They left points on the field. They had penalties.
Costly penalties.
And it cost them. They didn't execute the way they were supposed. If they would have executed on offense, it wasn't about being conservative. Throws got missed. Carson Beck missed a couple throws.
Touchdown get calls back.
Yeah, the penalty. The score could have easily been 35-3 or even 42-3.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not. Again, people keep talking about they being conservative and this, that, and the other, and it's like, no, man. I don't see it as conservative.
Well,
I just see it as okay. And they made calls on the field, and they didn't execute it. And when the players go in the locker room after the game and they're not celebrating and they hold it, and this is intel that I got and a lot of people got.
Right.
Didn't celebrate in the locker room. They were very upset with each other. You saw Bain on the sidelines. He was mad as hell because they knew it was on them. It wasn't on Mario. It wasn't on Shannon Dawson, and it wasn't on Heatherman.
Right.
I know some of our fan base are going to say, well, they're being too conservative. And even if you want to say they're being conservative, which I don't believe so, I don't believe they're going to be conservative from here on out. I think Mario and Dawson and the rest of the staff want to see what they had. They want to see how they can perform. Florida State ain't no pushover. Florida played them right. They played too high safety, so that's why they ran the ball down their throat.
Right.
FSU run a 3-3-5 defense, and they want to put 8 guys in the box to stop the run. They was creeping the safeties up. How did they catch Malachi with the flea flicker from Fletcher?
Right.
Because both safeties, as soon as he handed off to Fletcher, they was already creeping
downhill.
And they hit on that, and he flea flicked it back. And Tony already was out there, had to save this corner beat one-on-one.
Right.
So that told you what FSU was doing. They was playing the run.
Right.
So, damn. So,
what's your take on SMU? They number 6.
They're fair. They're average. They're fair. I'm not gonna say I like Lashley as a coach. I think they're well coached.
Yeah, Jennings. He another nice one.
I think they're very well coached. So,
I was shocked by Clemson.
Lightly when we go to Dallas in November, we can't take them lightly.
Yeah, I was shocked by Clemson. I guess when I look at Clemson, I know they had that rocky start, but Clemson looked like they're going to cause some problems. Yeah, they'll just look. I mean, for us the rest of the season, I think they are too. I think Clemson going to cause some problems. I think Clemson.
out to prove something. They just,
So would you have Duke in front of Florida State? So you would have Miami, Duke.
Numbers wise, if you go by the numbers, then no, because that's what they basing this on is the numbers.
Right. He really didn't say. I just wrote the numbers down. He never really clarified this article. He just says, oh, yes, he did. He said FPI rankings, okay, and metrics. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how he got it, the FPI rankings. And then the bottom half, you got NC State, which ain't look good, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Cal, Wake Forest,
and Stanford,
Boston College, Stanford, and North Carolina is dead last.
Are they really? Oh, wow, I forgot about that. All I gotta say is, as far as Miami is concerned, they can't take nobody lightly. I don't think they will, and I think they just need to go out here and they need to dominate every game.
Right.
They need to dominate every game the way they can play. You've played the best defenses that you're going to play this year. You've played the best offenses that you're going to play this year. I think the only team that, I give Miami the nod because of the front seven, man. Whether it's Louisville or SMU or whoever, they don't stack up. If you could shut down Byron Brown, if you could shut him down from South Florida, and you could shut down Big Mouth in Florida State.
Yeah. He's still running his mouth.
He's still running them Super Bowls.
Oh, man, he ain't stopped talking yet. Oh, boy.
He better play now because Pittsburgh driving on him. So if you could shut them down,
right, then
I don't think the only other team that may have some offensive something would be maybe SMU with Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, when my front four can wreak havoc on you and your timing ain't gonna be right and your quarterback ain't gonna be able to do what he was doing before, then I get the advantage of Miami in every game. You done went through the toughest part of your schedule, and I really think that he has this team focused, and I think they know themselves to be focused. They don't need to be coached for this. It just feels different this year. It's different than last year. You ain't got to come from behind. You don't need Cam to get you from behind. This defense is so solid, and I think with every game the back end is getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot better. And people were saying, well, I was reading, well, we went back and watched the game and saw a lot of open receivers for Florida State. I said, yeah, they was open, but at that point, Castellanos was either taking off running or sacked or pressured. So at that point, when he take off and run.
Hey, that's my thing when I be arguing with people, man. It's like you're not putting everything in totality. Okay, yeah, this guy's open, but what good is he open if the guy can't get him the ball? It's a reason why, It was the thing that Miami was the Achilles heel last year that we was getting there, but the guy was wide open, I mean, he was wide open right off the line. So, okay, yeah, you're going to have guys sometime running free because if you bringing a guy off the corner or whatever, but he ain't got time to get him the ball, If they had time, then they probably wouldn't bring nobody off the corner. They'll sit back and play coverage. So, it's like, oh, man, it's so frustrating when you talk to certain people about this. Now, the crazy part about this list here, now this is a quarterback list. They rank in the top 10 quarterbacks that they deem right now in college football. And I wish I had the preseason ones to what they got now, because it's very interesting how things that kind of switched up from when we did this a couple of months ago. But at number one, they got Dante Moore, Oregon. He been balling. I can't take anything away from Dante.
No.
Number two, they got Carson Beck. He up 2 spots. Number 3, they got Ty Simpson, Alabama. Number 4, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. We'll see the top 5 right now. And number 5, CJ Carr, Notre Dame. Now, we'd have seen CJ Carr. We knew he would get better as the year go on. I done watched a lot of course, Beck, and I done watched a lot of Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson has came on since that Florida State game. I will say he's came on,
but I still think because it's Alabama, they putting him there.
Mm.
There are a lot of other good quarterbacks in the league right now. Duke's quarterback is one of them, but they're gonna base a lot of things off competition and brand. It's all about a brand, man. And I'm not taking that away from Ty Simpson, but because they beat Georgia at Georgia, that's a big deal. And I ain't gotta tell you, what's the name? You know who running the polls, you know who run the broadcasting. They're gonna stick with their brand, and they know their brand is Bama, so they're gonna stick with that. But there's other good quarterbs in the league,
because even number 6.
Look at Texas Tech quarterback. You think he's putting up numbers?
Texas A&M quarterback balling.
You think he ain't putting? Oh yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah, exactly him. Yeah, you think he ain't putting up numbers? So they even throwing Carr in there from Notre Dame. I'm not, he doing pretty good to be a freshman, but it's a lot. It's only a handful of. To me, it's only 2 quarterbacks out there that's really putting it out there, and that's Touchdown Pitt, and that's Carson Beck and Dante up in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Them the ones that's, to me, that's quality wins against quality opponents in big time games and crucial situations. And Beck hasn't found. Well, I ain't gonna say Beck hasn't found himself in a crucial situation like Dante did against down 17-0 to Penn State. But
because Beck comes in on the road in Florida State. First drive, Florida State goes down, gets a field goal. It comes right back in the answer. So I mean,
and it was on Miami first drive. They had to punt. It was the second drive where they scored.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And I said, okay, this ain't the same offense as last year. It's not supposed to be. And I think with that first drive, Miami was filling out Florida State to see what they was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw right away what Florida State's approach was. We're going to cram the box. We're not going to let y'all run on this. We're going to make Beck beat us. And Beck showed you. If he got time to sit back there in his jersey clean, he only had to take off once or twice. He ain't got really no pressure.
Right.
And that's going to change as the season. I think that'll change as.
Well, yeah, because they look more film and stuff like that on them. They're going to try to play them different.
That'll change when Miami breaks the playoff, because now you're going to face a much more a higher caliber quality type team. You might end up playing a Georgia. You might play a Bama.
Right.
You might play a Indiana or something like that. You're gonna face your Notre Dame type, Florida type defense again.
Right.
Now we're gonna see how well our lines stack up against.
But I think that what makes this team a little bit better. Well, better than last year's teams, because you can counter your defense to get you a stop. Or 2 when you need it. So we couldn't count on that last year. So number 6, I'm a little controversial on number 6. They got Diego Pava. What do you feel about him? Because he reminds me of a talking Castellanos. So maybe I ain't trying to.
My old boy at UCLA.
No, for Pitt, Vanderbilt.
Oh. I like him, man. He got some moxie about him, man. He might have got a little ahead of himself a little bit, but he played with an attitude.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just you gotta.
He feel a certain kind of way because last year they beat up, and they gave Bama a game this year, but
they was correcting him.
Oh yeah, they were gonna drag him. I mean.
He okay. I don't know.
Okay. I'll give him he okay.
The 6th best because number 7 they got Ohio State quarterback Julian.
He not getting his praise. They all think that he's supposed to get his praise. The Ohio State fans mad because he's not getting the love that they think he's supposed to get.
Right.
And
number
he's
8.
doing all right. Like I said, Ohio State got to play somebody. They only up. They got all the way down to Illinois red zone and couldn't get in. It's only 3-0 Ohio State. So,
yeah. Now I haven't seen Jalon Daniels play for Kansas, so I haven't seen.
He ain't bad either. It's so much parity, Dwayne. There's a lot of decent quarterbacks out there that are average, a little better, a little above average. To me, like I said, it's only you can count on one hand how many quarterbacks are
Right.
really good, exceptional, or damn near elite. I don't think anybody's elite.
Right.
I think it's hard to be elite today because there's so much parity. You're only going to have elite every now and then. You're only going to get a Mike Vick every now and then. You're only going to get a Lamar Jackson every now and then, or my man that Clemson had a couple of them. That's why Dabo went on that run, because you had some elite quarterbacks that could throw and run, that had presence in the pocket. And then
he had Deshaun, he had Goldilocks,
who he had before Deshaun. EJ Manuel?
No, before EJ Manuel was Florida State, wasn't he?
Florida State.
Yeah.
Taj Boyd.
Yeah.
You had him. You had Goldilocks. That's with Jacksonville now.
Yeah. I mean, he had some studs.
You had some studs, and what's his name? He ain't all that.
Klubnik.
Klubnik. He's okay, but he's kind of he remind me of old boy Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Number 9, Menza. Number 10 is Brendan. Was it Sorsby from Cincinnati? I didn't watch that whole Cincinnati game.
He ain't bad either.
So yeah, it's just interesting how they get these rankings, and I wish I had the ranking that they had, where they had Klubnik and Manning and all these boys
in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, and I will say this about Manning, to be fair, that Texas line ain't looking good at all. That offensive line is not looking good for Texas.
They got a decent defense.
Yeah,
Texas, they got defense. They got top 5 D, but
yeah,
that
line is looking. It's horrible.
Archie is not what they. Archie ain't all that, man.
Well, this is what I try to tell people about the Arch Manning situation.
Maybe in the wrong system. I don't know.
And this is how the media works. You see it all out through sports. They was so much in a rush to get Ewers out of there. And my argument was, why do y'all think he better than Ewers? I'm just like, I just didn't see it. And everybody like, nah, man, you need to go on and put him in and stuff. And I'm thinking like, nah, man, this man, I said, Sarkisian, if he thought he was that better, he would have got rid of Ewers a long time ago. Ewers would have left in the transfer portal or whatever the situation might be, So I said,
Ewers ain't tripping. He with the Dolphins. He know he one step away from Tua fucking up to being the quarterback.
Right.
He didn't do bad in the preseason, and so he ain't worried.
Yeah.
Get me in. Go ahead and get rid of me. We're just all right.
So the media was clamoring so much for Arch and Arch wasn't saying a lot. It's just how the media works. They want to clamor to get these people on. And I think Sarkisian was more like, hey, he really ain't ready, to go. So what are you, a redshirt sophomore right now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he turned out to be an average quarterback. Will he be, this elite quarterback? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Get the man a little help. I mean, a little bit of better offensive line. He'll be average. I don't know if he'll be a first-round pick. We just never know, But this year, I don't think so with the system that they playing in, and they're not protecting him well. And his first year running a gauntlet through the SEC, I mean, come on. I mean, what can you expect out of him? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Is any of these guys coming in these conferences? My question to you is, I read an interesting article where Nick Saban said something that kind of caught my ear. And and I think we talked about this too, where he said something about, I think I said that I thought that Big Ten was catching up with the SEC.
They done caught up.
Now, he disagrees because he said they're not as deep. And then he was like, he said, you look at he said they got a bunch of good teams, but besides Ohio State and Oregon, he said most of them are middle of the pack, in his opinion. He thinks that their teams, like the 8 of them, travel well, could beat anybody. He said he don't think that, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, that the Big Ten if you get down to Indiana and some of those teams, Illinois, some Penn State, some of them could just beat anybody in the nation, where you just kind of like book it like that. So I don't know what you think about that.
I mean, as a whole, he could be right, because outside of Ohio State and Oregon and maybe Michigan, I don't have no stock with Penn State, because Franklin just can't get it done.
Right.
Other than that, yeah, Illinois is trying to get there. Iowa always has a good defense, but they, offensively never could produce.
Right.
Indiana is on the verge of trying to be what Ohio State and Oregon are. I still see Oregon as a Pac-12 team, even though they're in the Big Ten. I still see them as a Pac-12 team.
Right. I just thought it was interesting because
he could say that, because the SEC is still. You still got A&M, you still got Missouri, you still got Georgia, you still got Tennessee, you still
that's
got,
what he was saying. That
you got all these teams that I think they would beat Big Ten teams straight up.
Yeah, and I think that's the point he was making. Now, so I thought about this. How do you think the ACC stacks up with the Big 12?
The Big 12 or Big 10?
The Big 12. Like, which is the better conference to you?
I think the ACC would be the better conference. Who in the Big 12 is any good besides Texas Tech right now? You done stole away the best teams in the Big 12. Missouri, Texas, and Oklahoma and A&M are all in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Put all them back in the Big 12 and let's talk.
Yeah, because Utah.
Then I would ask Saban, how do you feel about that now? So, I think right now the ACC is a better conference.
Because I'm trying to think. I mean, because Kansas, K-State, not what we thought they were.
Cool. K-State ain't all that. Oak State is trash.
Yeah, Cincinnati, good team, but
Cincinnati good. Colorado, no,
average.
Baylor is hit or miss. Nebraska's gone. They're in the Big Ten.
Yeah. UCF.
Central Florida, no. I wish Miami would have had them on the schedule. Then it would have truly been I mean, it's a state championship, but it would have really been that would have been just the one more to get it, But
West Virginia, not that good.
West Virginia, that's
I mean, I just was wondering, because I'm going down thinking like, because the ACC gets a lot of flack, and you even hearing the
you know why they get the flack.
Why is that? Oh, yeah.
That's why they get it. Why they get it. They weren't even talking that bad about the ACC 10 years ago when it was Clemson and Florida State dominating.
That's what I was finna say.
They wasn't saying that shit back then.
Right.
It's only when they start to get good, now all of a sudden, the ACC is weak. And Carson Beck's only good because he's playing in the weak ACC schedule. And I had to tell this idiot, I said, they played their first ACC game and they dominated. And it wasn't against Cal. It wasn't against Wake Forest. It wasn't against NC State or North Carolina. It was against the number one offense in the country, which was Florida State.
Right.
So I said, what are you talking about, man? I said, Miami's played 5 games and 4 of them have been non-conference. Now, one of them, yes, has been a pickup game with Bethune. But, Miami always plays the HBCU out of Florida. I got a lot of respect for that because, they pay them a lot of money to bring their band down. They do FAMU like that. But you beat Notre Dame, who everybody picked to win over you.
Yep.
You handle South Florida when a third of the people thought South Florida could come in and pull an upset.
Right.
Half the people picked the Gators because their backs was against the wall and they just lost to LSU, a game they should have won.
Yeah.
And then a good half or better picked Florida State to win.
Right.
Based off feelings, Dwayne.
Yeah, and the narrative was going around that Miami was going to have trouble with running quarterbacks, and that was going to be the factor that they
and I said, you know what? when I heard that and when I saw that, I said, did they have trouble with Byron Brown? I said, who would you rather face, Byron Brown or Castellanos? I'd rather play Castellanos because Byron Brown got a better arm than him.
Right.
And
Well,
he's a big ass dude, and he
I
can
think they got confused. See, this what I think they got people confused. They seen CJ Carr come in and run, but they didn't understand that was the first game of the season. They didn't have any game film on them. They switched up at the second half and had them run the ball more.
And then was draw plays. Draw plays work on anybody.
Right. So when they took that in, they was like, oh, yeah, they susceptible to the run. They just took that small little sample size, and tried to say they were susceptible. But they didn't understand that. Like I say, first game of the season, a lot of teams try to tighten stuff up. It is what it is on that.
You're not playing a small school or the weakest team in your conference.
Right.
First game where it's more like a controlled scrimmage versus an all-out game. Miami got thrown in the fire, and so did Notre Dame for that fact. They both got thrown in the fire day one.
Right. Right off the bat. So
right off the bat, you got thrown in the fire.
And both of them looking better. Notre Dame looking
good.
Look
good. You can say what you want to say about Boise, and they only lost by a point to A&M, and that's questionable because that call on fourth down and goal in overtime, they blew that. They didn't call that holding call. Notre Dame really should have won that game, but all in all, Notre Dame gonna win out. I think South Florida, if they got to play Memphis, that's going to be a banger for them in that AAC conference.
Yeah.
The winner of that game is probably going to win that conference or go on to play. I don't know if they have a conference championship game or not. I don't think they do. But they keep winning. If Florida, for some reason today, go out and play like they did against Texas, they might pull the upset on A&M. A&M sitting there at number 5. How good would that look for Miami? Florida knock off the number 5 team?
Yeah.
That's going to get Gator fans chirping. We need to play y'all again. No, y'all had y'all chance.
Oh, they're going to say they didn't have, who was that, Dallas, the receiver came back. We were hurt a little bit and all that stuff. Yeah, we ain't trying to hear all that. Everybody go through injuries.
Right. Except for us. We had a couple guys hurt, but
yeah.
We got enough depth that we could absorb that. So,
yeah, and that's one thing that I think Mario was trying to build up that he talked about too. Is the depth you got to have to, if people do get hurt, you can put another quality backup in. And that's the crazy part when you look at this team from when Mario was talking about. I think he gave an interview sometime this week how upset he was when he first got here about the roster, and I kind of sat back and I was listening. And he wasn't taking a shot at Manny Diaz, but I think he was thinking more like, look, I played here. We should have more quality players and more depth than what we got. And, and some stuff is just out of your control. I didn't take it as a shot at Manny. Some people did, but he was just, you asked the man, he gave you his honest opinion. He was upset about the roster. The roster was not ready to compete for a championship.
No, he said that when he got here, that line was not big. He knew the trenches was horrible. You had too many me guys on the team. That's why your boy transferred right away and went to Arizona State. You ain't heard his name since.
I think is he off the team? I think
Nesta Silvera, where he at?
Think he might.
He was pretty good. I give him that. I think if he would have, but he didn't fit in Mario's. You remember a lot of guys left when he got there.
Yeah.
And he said a lot of these guys going to end up leaving. Either we're gonna ask them to leave or they're gonna leave on their own.
And there was a lot of even the fans that was like, oh well, we lost these guys to SMU and look what they doing there and looking what. And I'm just like, look, if you can't get on the field. I don't know what to tell you.
The only dude that come out of SMU that did anything, and we knew he was going to be special, was Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
Now he in the league playing for, I forgot who. I just seen him on TV last week or something who we played for. Otherwise, all these other cats left. Rooster left.
I forgot about Rooster.
Yeah. He was hurt. A lot of people left, and you ain't heard nothing about him no more.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, I listened to a podcast and they got not even to bring it up again, but talking about the JoJo situation. And I'm thinking like, look, man, they kind of know what's going on in there. And like I say, they're going to figure that out. He just got to get his head right and it'll come together because they're going to need him at some point. So, and I think he knows that. They probably telling him that like, hey, we're going to need you at some point. Just be patient, So that's the thing about having depth. Sometimes you can get a little turmoil, but when you all put together for a common goal, you start to understand, and some of the players probably talking to other players just not getting significant playing time like they want, because I know a lot of people want to see Lyle a lot more, even though Lyle have been injured. So,
Lyle got some click against
Yeah.
Florida State. Just I don't care who you are as a running back.
Right.
If they stack the box, it's gonna be hard to get off some runs. Unless you bounce to the outside and you got a play designed to bounce it out. Like I like that one play. And see, I think I forgot his name, number 0 from Missouri. He the one that had the illegal motion play that
From Miami?
that cost Malachi that touchdown.
Okay, yeah.
When he was in motion and then he took
turned up a little bit.
He turned up too soon. And then he had the one play where they did that reverse whatever, and he came around and he had like 5 blockers in front of him. And even the announcer said if he would have been a little Herb Street said if he just would have been a little bit more patient.
He took off. Yeah.
Took off ahead of them and got tackled. He had 2 mental errors in that game, just on him. And I ain't picking on dude, but I'm just saying he had 2 mental errors in that game. And that cost your team 14 points.
Right.
So the score could have been way worse than 28-3. So that's why I told the fan base, y'all need to chill about that. They got conservative shit. I don't think they got conservative. I like the way the players owned up to that should have been pass interference. They should have got the players took accountability, man. And that's what I think a lot of our fan base need to understand is that our players. Oh, that was pass interference all day. The players have taken accountability and responsibility and taken amongst themselves to want to hold themselves accountable.
Right.
Don't need the coaches to tell you. We don't need the coaches to show us. We see it for ourselves. We need to clean this up.
Right. And I'll see you in the chats.
If you want to have a championship type team, which they do, I mean, Dwayne, I just sit there. Sometimes I be at work and I go off in the days a little bit thinking, I didn't even think that this team would be like this.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of smoke and mirrors? I don't know, because you hearing from more than one credible source that's telling you that these dudes look like an NFL team out there.
I don't think it's smoke and mirror because of this reason. We knew how good Miami was last year offensively. We knew that if they can have a little bit of defense, they would be better. But what we seen this year is guys playing at an elite level. I mean, getting turnovers was one big thing. They getting turnovers. I'm like,
that freshman safety number 3 he gonna be, man.
Yeah.
Miami's secondary gonna be in really good hands for a minute.
Yeah.
They got they got the other kid that just reclassified to come out in 26. Miami, listen, people need to get off Mario's ass. These dudes,
Now I did see you in the chat going at it on Facebook with somebody. I think it was in the Miami Hurricane group. They were crying about something. I don't know specifically what it was that you had to check back on.
Get sick of this shit, man. Stop all this crying. Y'all cry about every damn thing. Stop crying. They won the damn game. What you? I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm gonna call them out every time. Y'all need to go on with that baby shit. I'm tired of it. They won the game. What do you want? They not gonna come out here and score 50 points a game. They didn't do that in 2000. They didn't do it in 99. They didn't do it in 01. They didn't do it in 02. They didn't do it in 03. And these were some of the greatest teams, most elite teams ever. You're not going to do that all the time. Right. The end game is the win.
Yep.
The fuck is you crying about? The end game is the W. Your team didn't have to come from behind 35-10 to win the game.
Yeah.
You so punch drunk on what Cam did last year, but you forget you had to come from behind to beat Cal.
Right.
You had to duke it out with Virginia Tech and make them look good.
Right.
And then when they at home on a primetime game against Clemson, they look like boo-boo.
Right.
So
now, last year's team was smoke and mirrors. That's what I was saying.
Last year's team offensively was there.
Yeah.
Defensively wasn't. So,
right.
I mean, I would even dare say our receivers this year are better than last year. As much as I like George and as much as I like Horton and as much as I like Restrepo a lot, I wouldn't trade them for what we got now.
Right.
C.J. Daniels is the truth.
Yeah.
He was the truth at LSU. He was hurt and he didn't get a lot of click. We ain't got to say nothing about Malachi. We already know.
Right. And they're just more balanced this year.
And more balanced. Beck can relax. He got people that can run the ball.
Right.
On a wall that can block. And he got guys that can catch.
Right.
So this crying and shit about Mario, this dude is laying the foundation to mirror what Saban did at Bama.
He trying.
He is going to have an elite. Listen, you think when Bain and Mesidor leave that the line going to have a drop off? Oh no. God, no. I've already read in a year or two. These cats coming behind them might be even better.
Right.
My man that's out for the season. They purposely put him out for the season so he can have an extra year, so he can totally heal. This dude, what's his name, Hayden Lowe or something?
Hayden Lowe, yeah.
He's supposed to be like Bain and then some.
Right.
Blunt coming back next year, dude. They gonna be Miami D line and the O line gonna be night, man. Now he working on the secondary. They gonna have so many blue chippers at corner and safety.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know why some of our fan base need to stop this crying. Y'all need to stop this crying. And stop crying about, oh boy, they want to go to Syracuse. If that boy want to go to Syracuse, let him go. There are other receivers out here. Let that boy go to Syracuse. I know he best friends with Malachi. He might be messing with y'all. He might come to Miami. Then again, he might not. He might, we might be best friends, but okay. He going to do his own thing. Let him go.
All right. What's up, True Seminole? What is that? True Seminole. Okay. Right. What's going on? Hey,
we're going to see how far them Noles go today. I hope they win. I don't want Florida State to lose. I
don't either. Like I said,
I don't want them to lose.
That's why I asked you on the list.
I want Alabama to lose because they play in my home state. But I want Florida State to win.
And that's why I said at the beginning of the list, I said I'm torn because when I see Florida State, I know they are good. This is the thing, like I said last week, a lot of teams, they get confused. Florida State is a good team. Miami is just better than them. That's all it is. So when you better and you beat a team, then they want to diminish the team like Florida State. They're a good team. The same thing they did with Florida.
This is what Florida State got to some of the same problems. Touchdown, Bama. They got some of the same, and that's Isaiah. Is that Isaiah Horton? Yep. Our old receiver catching touchdowns for Bama. So Florida State got some boo-boo fans just like we do.
Yeah.
And they need to understand. I think the real Florida State fans that really know football, they understand this is not Nick Marshall and Auburn. It's a Gus Malzahn offense. And once Gus Malzahn get the type of players he wants, Florida State going to be a problem.
Right. They're
going to be a problem. But they're not a problem right now because Castellanos is not Nick Marshall.
Right.
They running back is not, oh boy, that's De La Soul's son.
Right. Thanks for subbing there, True Seminole.
So, they got a good team, and Pittsburgh just scored on them again, though. They're going to have to get some people on the back end because their secondary is doo-doo.
Who, Clemson?
Florida State.
Florida State. Oh, high school playing, yeah.
They secondary is doo. Pittsburgh made that look easy. That's what I'm saying. They just need a few more pieces.
Yeah.
They're not a bad team. They defense got holes in it. They can score.
You're right.
They can score.
They're gonna have to figure out the quarterback situation next year.
They're gonna get some studs.
So
it's just if Florida State got to play, you caught Bama at the bad time. You play Bama now, Bama gonna beat the sleeves off Florida State.
Yeah.
They would beat the sleeves off Florida State.
Yeah.
You caught them in the first game of the year. Okay, kudos to Florida State. You went up against Miami. I want Florida State to win. I want y'all to win every game. I want you to win today. I want you to beat Clemson.
Yeah.
And I want you to beat Florida.
You say pass rush is bad also. Yeah. And then I think
he needs pieces, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He needs pieces. They know, so don't get all on Norvell head. If you're gonna get on his head, get on his head about not recruiting better.
I think that's what the fan base has been on, because I've been in some chat rooms with Florida State fans, and I think the biggest thing they are mad about when they looked at after the loss, I don't even think they were really mad about the loss. They were mad about the talent discrepancy on the field. That's what I kept reading about.
Right.
Instead, how is they getting all this talent? How is they evaluating this talent? And we ain't getting this talent. That's, I think, the biggest thing that they were a little bit upset about.
And it used to be Miami and Florida State were neck and neck on talent.
Yeah.
Going back to the 80s, all the Bowden and Jimmy days and the Erickson days with Bowden, even going all the way up to Butch Davis and Coker with Bowden. Florida State, and I don't think many Florida State fans would agree with me. Some of them always say the 13 team was their best team. No, it wasn't. Y'all 98 and 99 teams were better than the 13 teams. They were way more better to me, more complete, way more physical. Defensively, they were better. Florida State has some dogs.
Yeah.
In them late 90s, boy.
Yeah.
They had some dogs on that team. When they had Snoop Menace and Peter Warwick and them, and they had that defense, they had to run it. That's all they need to do is get back to their recruiting, man. Norvell got away from that. He'd been dipping with that transfer portal. And that was the smoke and mirrors, that 13-0 team, because as soon as Travis Hunter got hurt, them boys said, we through.
Right.
You're half your team laid down.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I don't know.
I didn't understand it.
I didn't understand that.
Because they were transfer dudes. They wasn't recruited hard by Florida State. They came from they was just brought there to try to and that, I don't want to say that to indict every transfer player.
And we said the same thing about Cam Ward.
Right.
So we just being fair. He didn't come.
Fair. I think all them guys that came to FSU, they showed the fan base and they showed the school and everybody what they was about by laying down once he got hurt.
Yeah, because to me, you're supposed to rally. Your quarterback breaks his leg.
They didn't rally.
Yeah,
they played in the ACC title game, and they didn't lay down for that. And they really couldn't. Who they beat? They beat NC State or something that year.
I don't remember.
ACC title. It wasn't.
They played hard. They just couldn't move the ball.
They couldn't score. They didn't have Travis Hunter and see that's on Norvell. You should have had. Come on, man. You got all this star power out here. All they got to do is deliver the ball. Right. What's going on? That showed holes in this offensive line because you could have ran the ball, and the score was real low. They barely 13-9 or 12 or some shit. They wanted. And then after that, all them dudes was like, we through, we turning pro, we hiring agents. And
got the hiccup out of there.
And it got up out of there, man. It was like
he said, dude, the Canes get their first ACC title. I see it happening, barring major injury or whatnot.
Barring any injuries, I see Miami winning out convincingly. And
because I guess because I'm gonna tell you why I believe so. I didn't have faith in last year's team. Offensively, we knew, but we already knew they was going to be in a dogfight every game. Just this year they just look way more balanced, and I keep going back to balance. And they able to get key stops when they need it. Now, I know a lot of people going to say they haven't been in a tight a really tight game yet, but
there wasn't a tight game with Notre
yeah,
Dame. There wasn't
that's
a
what I'm
tight
saying.
game.
Yeah,
There wasn't a tight game with Florida. The momentum changed. Florida started moving the ball in the third quarter, and you're like, uh-oh, what's going on?
right,
It wasn't a tight game. What do you mean by tight?
right.
That's what I'm saying. Our fan base need to quit this shit. You ought to be glad Miami never really trailed till they played Florida State 3-0.
Yeah,
Why you want them to trail?
right.
That means they doing something right if they not trailing.
I
If they
think
not,
that's more the pundits.
that means our defense is that damn good that another team can't just march down the field and score, and then we have to punt, and then they march down the field and score, and then before you know it, it's 14-0 or 10-0, and you facing some adversity. The trench play, people forgetting this. If you got the line on both sides of the ball, you shouldn't have that much of a problem.
Right.
Okay? If I can funnel all my power through my people up front on both sides of the ball, I shouldn't have too many problems. I'm not going to have a lot of problems on the back end if I'm getting to the quarterback or if I'm chasing him out the pocket. Every now and then somebody going to get open on a busted play. That's going to happen. But I think this secondary is getting better and better.
Yeah. Playing fast too on the back end.
I think Besaint and what's the name? Muhammad what's the name? Torre ain't getting their credit, man.
Oh,
these two dudes bringing the wood at linebacker. That's why the run defense is so good.
Yeah.
You're not going to totally shut somebody down, man.
Right.
You're not going to totally shut somebody down. It's
he
not.
Said they just took TC out the game, did they? Wow.
He said what?
He said they just took Thomas Castellanos out the game.
They didn't take him out. They threw him off his game. They didn't take him out the game. They threw him off his game. He couldn't.
Oh, I thought he was talking about today. He's talking about against Miami. Okay. I didn't know. He said they just took, so maybe talking about the Miami game. Because I ain't looking at the
got the Pitt game on now with them. I don't know.
So you got to be talking about that. Yeah, well, constantly, if you're talking about the Miami game, Thomas, we said this before the game started. And he talking about today. He said, no, Brock Glenn just came in. I'm talking about today. Yeah. Hey, what I tell you, before when they got him, I said, look, and this is no shade against Thomas. I didn't understand why they got him when he got benched at BC and he quit.
He quit on them.
Yeah, I just didn't because see, Florida State wouldn't normally do nothing like that in the old days.
He quit on Boston College, man. He quit on them because he got benched for something and he quit on them.
Because he was playing like cheeks out there. That's why he quit. That's why he got benched.
That's why I laugh at people trying to say he better than Byron Brown. I'm like, no, he ain't.
Right.
You take Byron Brown out of Florida, South Florida, and you put him with Florida State.
Right.
Now y'all got something. If Byron Brown was at Florida State, I would have been like, all right.
Yeah.
This dude is 6 foot something.
He said, never mind, he back in the game. But it still don't change my opinion. I still
they got this bad. I would love to have number 0 with Miami, the receiver. What's his name? The tall mixed dude.
Yeah, he'll boot.
I'll take him.
Yeah.
Shit.
He a beast.
He a beast. Not too many people can cover him. He run good routes to be so big.
Yeah. Got good hands too.
I wonder if he hooping too for Florida State. If he a two-way athlete, but that's a big dude, man.
Yeah. Deuce. Yeah, Deuce.
Fucking ball, man.
So it's just crazy. And then we
Florida
go down.
State, FSU, I give them another 2 years, man. I told somebody else that. I said, Florida State.
Said it on the live.
I said they're about 2 years from getting the right recruits. They need to get some good ones this year. He really need to recruit hard next year and sell Florida State. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna out recruit Miami, but you could damn near equal Miami. Instead of trying to compete with Miami, y'all need to be trying to compete with Florida. You closer to Gainesville than South Florida. Yeah, y'all gonna come down. You're gonna get some South Florida kids, of course. Not everybody in South Florida gonna go to Miami. Some kids gonna go to. It's always been some kids from South Florida go to Florida State.
Right.
But they need to recruit real hard in the Jacksonville, Tampa area again. Gainesville, hit Georgia up and South Carolina up, your bordering states.
Mm-hmm.
He need to really hit that recruiting hard. I give Florida State 2 years, man. I give them 2 years.
Yeah,
And
I see them that they got to really hit those trenches hard. They really got to get.
do.
They got to get.
I think a lot of teams
right.
are gonna mimic what Miami doing now.
But what do we talk about? Because I said, I stand by it. I said, look, if you get a line, you could have 3-star athletes back there. I said, because that line will make a 3-star look like a 4-star, a 4-star look like a 5-star. You know, I mean, when you got guys that can move bodies,
when you got time to throw the ball and let your receivers run routes, somebody gonna get open.
Yeah.
Look at Mark Bolger for the Rams after he took over for Kurt Warner. When Mark Bolger sat behind that line and had time,
yeah,
he was carving up the Seahawks. He was carving up the 49ers, everybody. But when that line, when Orlando Pace and them was gone and they wasn't blocking no more,
right.
That motherfucker was like a statue back there. He couldn't run and he was getting sacked and he couldn't do nothing.
Right.
You gotta have the people in front of you, man.
Right.
Everybody
ain't
gonna have no. Is that Ty Simpson running like that on Missouri?
Hey, Ty got some jets, man.
Hey, man.
I told you he been looking good.
He look good, man. They shit. I tell you what, you ain't gonna get a Lamar Jackson all the time.
Mm-mm.
That's another Miami boy, and he went to Louisville.
Right.
So and they out there.
Right.
It's just Norvell got to get on that recruiting, man.
Yeah.
And I think that for real Florida State fans who know football, they understand that. They understand they need to have a line. If you want to be on par with like an Ohio State or be like Indiana or Texas Tech, they're gonna have to spend a little money. Nothing wrong with going in the portal. Everybody do.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
You want to spend a little money and try to get you an elite corner, elite linebacker, maybe get you a big time old lineman that want to leave another school.
And it made me think of something. He said that was kind of what Nick Saban was talking about too. Going back to that, you talking about spending money. He said he thought that the SEC was slipping because of the NIL, and we talked about this before about how a lot of time kids, you just can't get kids now because of just the name Alabama or Georgia or whatever. Sometimes
because other teams are out there. Other teams are out there putting in the work. They putting up W's. They producing.
They putting up W's and they can match you with money. So let's just be honest. So if I'm going to you and saying, "Hey, I'm a 4-star,"
man, come on, I'm listening.
And I might have to sit a year or two, but I can get this same money and play. I mean, or even a little bit more money and play. I mean, you can't fault a kid for that, a young kid for that. I can't. So and Nick Saban, I'm not trying to insinuate that he faults him because he said he doesn't fault him. He just put it out there. He could see why the SEC and teams slipping because he's saying the same thing we saying. We saying y'all can't stack talent no more, but he's saying like it's no school loyalty, but that's bull crap. You just ain't got the talent. I mean, you just can't stack talent and have people sit there. That's all that is. So that's all that is. So, I mean, that's crazy. So it is what it is on that. I mean, if you could, if they can go back and do what they was doing, but that money plays a big part.
Sure do it even the playing field.
Yeah.
It even the playing field, that's all.
Yeah, so
that's all it did. And that's why he got out of there because he knew, okay. And he didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
He knew they wasn't going to be, and I don't dislike Nick Saban, but I also know, hey man, they're not gonna kiss your butt no more because there's other teams out there now that's spending the money.
Right.
And they getting the talent.
Yeah.
And your time at Alabama being so dominated and so revered has come to an end because even though Bama's decent right now, you got us.
Yeah.
You got Ohio State. You got Oregon.
Yeah.
You got Texas Tech and Texas, so you got these are other conferences now, plus the other teams in the SEC that are legitimate, like A&M.
Yeah.
We're gonna see about Ole Miss. You still got Georgia. Don't think because Georgia lost at home to Alabama that they boo-boo now.
Right.
That's not the case.
Yeah, it's hard to get kids now to fly all the way across state, to the South or whatever. That's hard enough in a nutshell. Now you could say, hey, you can stay right here and you can go to school here and we're going to pay you. You ain't got to go all the way down there.
Not only pay you, we got the horses to compete and win.
Right. Right.
We got the horses to compete and win. It ain't going to be no like old boy doing to go to Syracuse. He want to go to Syracuse to make a name for himself. Okay, I'm not mad at the kid because he want to go to Syracuse. I'm not like some of these other fans are gonna be all bitter and bent out of shape because he want to go to Syracuse. Let him go to Syracuse. You still want to go to Syracuse and lose? Who say he gonna lose?
Right. Yeah. Now I'll never fault a kid for going anywhere he wants to go. That's their decision. Some will make good decisions, some will make bad decisions, but I'm not going to fault his decision. And of course, he's young enough. If it's not the right situation, he can always leave. You know what I'm saying?
On my podcast.
Yeah. So
I'm live.
It's just one of those things. So
I'll call you back.
It just I never really faulted the kid for that situation.
Yeah, I don't fault no kid. If he, like I say, I'm not gonna sit there. I ain't gonna badmouth the kid. That ain't right. He 18 years old. If he want to go to Syracuse, hey man.
And difference of times too, because you got
if that's where he feel comfortable, and Fran Brown making him feel the way he want to feel and giving him what he want to give him. Hey, I hope he go up there and be successful.
Right.
Except when you play Miami.
Right. And some of the legacy stuff is out the window too. Unless you got a deep tie with the school, some of the legacy stuff kind of gets thrown out the window too. I think some of it's overrated.
That don't always mean nothing.
Right.
What's his name's son? Michael Irvin's son came to Miami as a tight end. He was all right, but he ain't his daddy.
Right, yeah.
What's his name's son came Blade's kid came. He came. He didn't come out to be all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
It don't. Patchen's kid went here. A few kids came here that their daddies played here or uncles played here.
Yeah. So to put it all in a nutshell, Florida State got some work to do. Now, I don't know what Norvell's going to do. I'm pretty sure he got people on him. His fan base is on him big time about recruiting. If anybody coming in, that's what we're talking about. Hit that like button. Talking about the recruiting going on down there. Napier facing some of the same challenges with recruiting. It's tough. It's tough when you're in the state.
Think Florida in better shape.
Yeah.
Just because they in the SEC.
Right.
I think Florida in a little bit better shape than Florida State right now.
I agree.
I think the Florida coaching staff is a little bit better than Florida State coaching staff. I know people are going to think I'm crazy for saying that, but I think they are. I think they have a better defensive coaching staff. I think Florida would beat Florida State right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Florida got the same type of defense Miami got. They got some real hitters up front. They got a line. They got a better offensive line than Florida State do. So I think if they played right now, I would give the nod to the Gators. It's not a slight against Florida State. I just think the Gators would get them, man, because they got a defense.
Yeah.
They got a
defense. Yeah, a lot of people sleep on that Gators defense. And it's just tough, just like I say, just in the recruiting world.
I'm just happy we got our W on them because they don't want to play Miami no more. They don't want to play Miami no more. And now the ACC is going to the 9-game schedule. So
yeah,
that leave you 3 non-conference. So Miami going to play. More than likely they'll play HBCU. They'll keep that going.
Yeah.
Okay.
South Carolina pulled out the home and home. Did you read that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because they didn't want that smoke.
Well, Beamer gave a different answer, but
They sat Beamer down and showed him them tapes from the 90s when they had that brawl. And like Michael Irvin said, they didn't want to play Miami no more. They took us off the schedule in South Carolina, like we don't never want to play you motherfuckers again.
Yeah.
Still on that. 30 years later, they still on that. Because the SEC went to nine conference games.
Yeah, they did that this year, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. For us, the ACC, like I said, I told the guys we were trying to determine ACC, Big 12, tougher conference. You know, they always don't have us as one of the toughest conferences. And some of the pundits already putting out there, yeah, Miami has a weak schedule going down there, but they don't know who's going to be ranked. You already got Georgia Tech
this year?
Yeah. They always saying they got a weak schedule going down. They didn't play the toughest part of their schedule.
Them the haters, dog. Them the haters. Them the haters.
I wonder would they be saying the same thing if Clemson was in first place?
Nope.
You know, that's I think that's the stuff.
Just the Clemson haters would be saying that, but nope. They don't say that about, they never said it about Bama. They never said it about Georgia. Everybody in the SEC ain't that good.
For damn sure.
I'll put the ACC up against the SEC right now. Right now, the best teams in the SEC are Bama, A&M, and Georgia. And Bama, they done turned the game around on Missouri. It's 17-7. And they out there sticking on their ass now. So I said, you know what? After the game done settled down now, Bama.
I'll say Bama a good team.
Bama got a good team, bro.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Bama got a good team. Don't think they just got a fumble on Missouri.
Yeah.
They got a good team. Ole Miss got a good team. But I was still, okay, Ole Miss, Virginia, who would win that game? See what I'm saying? Duke playing a Mississippi State, or Mississippi State ain't bad, or let's say, I'll do you one better. Duke play Vanderbilt. Who you got?
Yeah.
You see, we won't never know.
Right.
Just like I said, when people keep drinking this Kool-Aid that the Cable Sports Network can put out there, they keep believing on that. It's about 3 or 4 teams in the SEC that are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You got about 3 or 4 teams in the ACC that are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Maybe more, because I think Clemson really finna start. If they turn it around, then you could really say you got 5 teams in the ACC: Miami, Clemson, Duke, Virginia, and Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, yeah.
And depending on what Florida State do, you can add them in the mix.
Yeah, because they still got to get a little healthy too. So I know Florida State got some guys banged up. I don't think they playing today too.
Florida State ain't a bad football team.
Yeah. Yeah, so
and they moving the ball on Pitt right now. They not a bad team. Malzahn is a hell of a play caller.
Yeah. And he's just got to get his pieces how he wants it.
Pieces he wants. I'm telling you. And like I said, the real Florida State football people know this. When you get a Nick Marshall type, oh, touchdown. Oh, that was nice. Now that was a nice pass by Castellanos.
Hey, was he in the pocket?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I can give him some credit.
He stepped up. He stepped up and threw. That was pretty right there. Now the game finna be tied. That was nice. Florida State ain't bad.
Right.
Not a bad team. They're not a bad team. It's just people who got your ass. It shows you how good Miami is.
That's what I've been trying to say.
I'm not going to take away from FSU and say they suck. It's just you got dominated by the better football team. That's all there is to it. And people don't want to give Miami their props. Like I said, man, and you probably feel the same way I feel. When the season started, I was saying no worse than last year, 10-2.
Right.
10 should be the bar for this team now.
Right.
I never would have expected them to be where they are now.
Right.
And as long as nobody gets hurt, I think this team could run the table.
Yeah.
What I would personally like to see, and this is going on a limb.
Uh-oh.
I would love to see us play Ohio State for a natty.
I knew you was gonna say that.
But here's the thing. Remember when I showed you them jerseys that was hidden?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And it said 2001 on them.
Yeah.
I really hope, Dwayne. I don't say I really hope. It would be nice if they get that far. It would be nice if they get that far. If they come back out with these. I don't know if you can really see it. This was this goddamn glare on
the
it's too much of a glare.
Yeah.
It's the replica jersey from that time, but Adidas.
Oh, okay.
And I would love to see them wear the green one again and play Ohio State for the national title. It's at home in the Orange Bowl. Well, the Hard Rock.
Hard Rock, yeah.
To exercise that demon and beat them. I think that would be, but that's way down the road.
Way down the road.
And we gotta take care of what you want. You doing what your wife do.
Yeah, hey, I already know. Hey, but before we wrap this up, hey, young lady. She wanted to go worldwide today.
Want to go worldwide. But yeah, that's right now we gotta focus on Louisville.
Right.
And I think Louisville Louisville gonna put they gonna pose a challenge.
Yeah.
They got some running backs. Once again, it's gonna come down to trench play.
Yeah.
And Miami just needs to dominate, man.
Yeah, just gotta control that line of scrimmage.
Control the line and just dominate the game, man. You got just it's I think from here on out, I think this is where they let the dogs loose now. And let the dogs loose in the second half. So whereas if you do have a lead, even if it's something like 21-10 or 24-14, keep the foot on the gas now.
Yeah, and cut down on the mental mistakes because that's the thing.
The second half mental mistakes and execute.
That's the thing. It's once they cut those down, and like I said, each week they're getting better. And each game gets a little bit more pressurized and stuff because the longer you stay undefeated, even the bad teams get up for the good games, for those games. So
that's why I try to tell all the naysayers, look at 0-1 when they went to Boston College. People always hang their hat on that game and the Virginia Tech game. I said, you got to remember something. Virginia Tech under Frank Beamer is not like it is now. And they're going to Blacksburg in the late 90s and early 2000s to play against Virginia Tech back then when they were really good at blocking punts and field goals. That was their specialty. That was a tough place to play.
Right, yeah.
That was the last game of the year, and to win that game to go to Rose Bowl. You never heard nobody say a damn thing about no cold.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
If you go back to that game, you don't even when they played Boston College the week or 2 weeks before that, it was November, you didn't hear nothing about cold.
Right.
Now they always want to bring up the cold.
Even the pundits. So
stop bringing up the cold. If I got a team that can run the rock, stop me if you can.
Yeah, because them offensive linemen, they don't care about the code.
They don't care. They hide anything. I don't want to hear about that cold. That cold don't mean shit. You're right. If you underfield, the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's on.
That's what you're talking. And I'm gonna tell you something. Number 8, the safety from Miami that came from Tennessee, quietly.
Oh yeah.
My man is nice.
Yeah. They got some speed on that back end too, because he was running down people. I'm like, man, look at him.
You got that safety, that freshman. Listen, Miami back end, each game has gotten better and better.
Yeah. And Heatherman has caught a great plan for him.
Yes.
Some of the blitz packages was just timely.
And Louisville ain't gonna be throwing that rock like they did last year. They don't throw it like that. They got some running backs.
Right.
So this is gonna come down to Bain and Mesidor and the linebackers again on run. I ain't worried about the run defense. They've already proven they can stop some good running.
Yeah.
Florida got a damn good running back. Stopped him.
Right.
Florida State don't have they got a decent running back, but then the running backs that they faced with Jeremiah with Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Love and my man with the Gators, you shut them down. Look at that. They done scored again. Yeah. They about to blow. Horton got number 2. They about to blow Missouri out the water now.
Yeah, I didn't think, like I said, it's that look, this is what makes Miami, I think, tough. Is that they playing these ranked teams so early. When you get this, you in this battle tested, and you get some of these teams now that's getting in conference play and they ain't played nobody, it's bad recipe when you come up for a big game and you ain't had one. It's bad. You got to be tested. So it's crazy. But we're going to wrap this up because I got to go watch me some football myself.
I don't know, man. I might find me something else to do because Illinois getting Ohio State scored again. And the only game really that's any decent, FSU got a pick. That game tied. The Missouri game, they getting rolled on, and I might find me some other things to do till later on when the Oregon game come on.
And hopefully that game is good because
hopefully we'll see. What's up, Steve?
Hey, to everybody out there, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us today. Next week we're going to be covering that Louisville Miami game pregame show. So we have a lot to talk about that game.
What time you talking about doing that? Because I leave. I'm flying. Flying to Miami Friday morning. First thing smoking on American.
Okay.
I'll be there by 9 o'clock. Pick up my rental. Go run to my partner's house. He's staying Kendall. Make a few other runs. I might go hit the Dolphin Mall up. I might go to Cane's Wear.
Right.
See what kind of little gear I can get for the game. And I'm going to the game. I'm solo bolo, bro. I don't care. I'm a grown man. I do my thing by myself. I buy me a parking pass. I know how to park. Walk right up in the Hard Rock Stadium. I ain't spending not one dime because they don't take cash.
Yeah, sure don't. So I was just there.
Before I get there, I don't play that game. If you don't take cash money, you ain't getting shit from me. So
yeah, they don't take
cash in none of these stadiums, so I can do without till I leave. But I'll be there. I'm gonna walk around and chit chat and enjoy the tailgating with people and enjoy the game. Hopefully hopefully it don't rain. They calling for a little. So right now they calling for rain in the morning.
Right.
We'll see how things change.
Well, you know how it is down there. It's always raining. Right. It's clear up.
That's another thing. It was nice to play Florida State and it was dry.
Yeah.
That was because the first 4 games Miami dealt with rain some kind of way.
Yeah.
So it was nice to play in the game and it was dry.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this game with Louisville is dry.
Somebody said 850 game. He said Food Stamp University crab legs are looking real good against Pitt.
They are. And you know what? 850K, we want them to look good. We want them to keep winning. We want South Florida to keep winning. We want them to keep winning. And we want the Gators to keep winning. Damn right. That keep that resume nice.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Like I say, won't Notre Dame. We definitely want all of them.
I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at this Ohio State game. They got some dogs too.
Oh, yeah. Ohio State got some dogs.
It's 13-0 over Illinois, and they up there putting the lean on them, and they riding high. And they not gonna play anybody. I thought Illinois would give them a battle, man, but they not.
I didn't. It's hard for me when you give up 62 points to think that 66 or however many they gave up, and it's just
Indiana.
Yeah,
when they got dog walked by Indiana.
Yeah, I just didn't see.
I think Ohio State next test won't be until they play Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State will get up for that game.
They're gonna get up for that game. It's at Ohio State, and then of course the last game was at Michigan.
Yeah,
if Ohio State can get through that, they're gonna be a tough out because they got some dudes too, man. They got some dudes too. Alabama got some dudes. So, like I said, these next 7 games for Miami, they need to be like really hard practices. Really, I'm serious. They need to go out here and handle business, and they need to go out here and play it like everything on the line. and they need to dominate, like Joaquin said.
Yeah.
They need to dominate these games because if you get to a 2-way, 3-way tie in the ACC, they're going to go on points.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get fucked over some points.
Right.
Because you might beat SMU 23-17 or something. Yeah, you get the win, but what if Virginia somebody play them and they beat them worse?
Right.
And I don't want to get. Miami's still going to be a playoff team, but you want that ACC title.
Right. So I agree.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Right now, one game at a time.
Yes, sir.
It's a work week. They said it was a work week. They practice like normal. They're going to, they're doing their walkthroughs. They practice hard on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'm pretty sure on Thursday they're going to travel and be, no, you got to they're at home.
Right.
They're going to get their work in and don't take Louisville lightly, but dominate these dudes.
Right. He said he want Florida State to lose every game left on this earth.
No, you got to look at the big picture to get out your feelings, whoever that is.
That's 850.
I understand 850. Part of me says the same thing. I want to see them lose and talk shit. We can talk shit all year to them because we beat them.
Right.
But I want them to win the rest of their games. I want Notre Dame to win the rest of their games. I want South Florida to win the rest of their games. I would love to see the Gators pull an upset over A&M today.
Yeah.
They win and make Miami look good. Then can't nobody say shit about, Miami ain't played nobody. Well, all they got to do is win 1-0 each week. And then after that, each team we beat, you hope they win. If we beat Louisville, I want Louisville to win the rest of their games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm mad at Louisville. You motherfuckers should have won last week. You could have beat Virginia and would have been ranked. That could have been another ranked opponent for Miami if they would have just handled business at home.
They say Courtney Roby. This is a guy I work with. Said Miami need a kicker. That 850 say Courtney Roby, an idiot.
Why we need a kicker?
I think he probably want to be our kicker. That's probably what he tried to say.
Why would Miami need a kicker? The kicks he's been called on to make, he didn't make.
Right.
The only one he didn't make was the bobble. That wasn't even his fault. The handler, the punter fucked up the snap in the Notre Dame game.
Right.
He ain't had the kick. That means Miami didn't score it.
Right.
On the time he had the kick was an extra point. I love that. Right. What's down, man? I don't need you. I'll call you after we get this 6. I like that.
Right.
He can give me the 3 if I need it, but you know what? If all I got to do is call him to get me this 1 because we didn't put on 6,
right?
Give me that all day. We don't need no damn kicker.
Right.
Keep kicking him out the end zone on kickoffs. I like that. Don't get him run it back.
Yeah, don't even give him a chance. Oh man.
Keep it real.
Let's wrap this on up. Hey.
We'll figure out something for next week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you leave Friday, right?
Yeah, and I'm coming back. If you go live without me Saturday, depending on what time it is, I got like a 3-hour layover in Houston.
Okay.
So if I'm in Houston Saturday.
Oh, you fly out Friday or Saturday?
I'm flying down there Friday. I'm turning right back, coming Saturday. Coming back.
Okay. See what you say. Okay.
I leave Miami at 8-something in the morning on United, fly to Houston, and I got like a 3-hour layover in Houston. And then so by the time I get to Houston, if you go live at 11, Houston is still time. If I'm just sitting around the airport chilling, I can get on my phone and tap in while I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? And then I should be back home in St. Louis like 4:30 or something.
Got you. Okay. Well, then we'll tap up. I'll catch base with you.
If somebody want to get in, if you want to get my man on or somebody else on next Saturday, and then like I said, you send me the link.
Okay.
If I'm on my layover, without any issues with weather or something, then I can tap in that way.
All right then. Well, that's it. Then we up out of here. We'll holler at you guys next week.
Y'all have a good week. Enjoy the game today and look forward to next Friday night.
All right.